Namaskaram, myself Vikas Shakya welcome you all on my channel Vishwaguru, and in this lecture, in this video, we are going to discuss that how we can start Bhagavad Gita. In the previous video, we have discussed that what are the problems and what are the challenges that are faced by the people who start reading Bhagavad Gita. And considering all those things in mind, based on my experience, I would like to start the Bhagavad Gita chapters on my channel based on my own understanding and based on my own experience, like how it benefited me, in what way I studied and on what way I understood this concept explained in the concepts explained in the Bhagavad Gita. So all those how they helped me and how they shown me the path, like where to go now, how to which Upanishad I need to read, where I need to go, where I need to find these things. So that particular experience I would like to share with you, and I would like to again say that this is not the claim from my side that this is the way you should read. I am no one to claim these things. This is just my own experience that when I understood Bhagavad Gita in this manner, when I found this thing in Bhagavad Gita that yes, this can be done. Like I cannot start Bhagavad Gita from the beginning. Rather, if I start Bhagavad Gita from the last six chapters, from chapter number 13 to 18, then it benefits me more, right? And the reason I will explain you why is that, right? That is my understanding, which I will explain it to you. So our first topic today is that how we will read it and why we will read it in that manner. Okay, so let me tell you how we will read it. We will read it in three parts, right? So in the previous video we have already discussed that there are three parts of Bhagavad Gita. The first part is the philosophy, the second part is the psychology, and the third part is the science. The philosophy is from chapter number 1 to chapter number 6. The psychology is from chapter number 7 to chapter number 12, and the science portion is from chapter number 13 to chapter number 18. Now let us understand it very clearly that why few people face the problem that when they start from chapter number 1 and start reading the Bhagavad Gita, why they face problems to understand it, and why after two or three chapters they just put it away. They just read it, but they just come up again after some time, after a few months, and then they start reading it again, and then they stop by after reading two or three more chapters, right? So why that happens? What is the basic fundamental problem here? In the previous lecture, in the previous video, we have clearly understood that why Arjuna was chosen for this knowledge, why Lord Krishna gave him the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. The reason was that he surrendered completely in the feet of Lord Krishna. He surrendered completely. Surrender means not only surrendering your own, whatever you have as your collaterals, your gold, your silver, your all money, all those things are not need to be surrendered. They don't need to be surrendered. They are not the only thing to be surrendered. Rather, I should say that they are not the only thing to be surrendered. You have to surrender your basic existence, your own identity. You have to surrender. Basically, that's the correct word. You have to surrender your own identity. That identity encompasses your knowledge. That identity encompasses your fame and name in your society, your aura in your society, in your aura between your friends, your society, your wife, your children, whatever you have, whatever knowledge you have, whatever good or bad you have done, whatever good or bad you have, all those things encompasses you, which is you, your identity. You have to surrender your complete identity to Lord Krishna. Then only you will be able to understand this. And Krishna was and sorry Arjuna was able to do this in front of Lord Krishna. He surrendered everything. He said that I cannot fight this war. I am not able to understand what is right and what is wrong. And he didn't say, just like Duryodhana, he didn't say that I don't want to understand any more thing. I cannot do this thing. I am not able to stop this thing. He was not. He means Arjuna was not saying this thing. He was saying that I am not able to understand what to do and what not to do. So please give me some direction. That is why he was sitting in front of Lord Krishna like this. So that is the main condition. That is the main prerequisite for you to understand the Bhagavad Gita from the beginning till the end. And that is sure. At this point of time, and this when I say this thing, I am totally 100% sure, and not only sure, I totally 100% believe, and this is true, that until you surrender, you cannot get knowledge, you cannot gain knowledge. That is the thing, right? So from chapter number 2, chapter number 18, if you want to read Bhagavad Gita, you should be like Arjuna. You should be able to surrender your entire identity, yourself, in the feet of Lord Krishna. Then only you will be able to get the nectar of this knowledge, which is known as the Bhagavad Gita. Let me tell you, this Bhagavad Gita is not only a book. If you think that this is a book, then you are wrong. This is not just a book, this is God. This is God himself. This is the God who talks to you. Once you understand it, once you get the once you get the blessings of God, then you are able to understand each and every line. Not only understand, you think that you are talking to these verses, you are understanding these verses. These verses are trying to explain you to something which are not known to anyone, which are very hidden, which are in very much metaphoric language. They are very much hidden. They have some inherent meaning. Those inherent meanings will be coming in front of you, and just from Bhagavad Gita you will be able to understand whatever you have in all your Vedas, in all your Upanishads. All those things will be clearly in front of you if you read Bhagavad Gita with full devotion, right? But do you think when you start Bhagavad Gita you are like Arjuna? You are able to put yourself, surrender yourself with your complete identity in the feet of Lord Krishna? Is it the thing? Is it right that you do this, you do that thing? No, this is not, this doesn't happen with everyone. Very rarely. There are rarest of the rare people, or you can say they are rarest of the rare gems who can do this. Otherwise no one else is able to do this, right? So what will happen if you are not surrendered like Arjuna? Will you not get the understanding of Bhagavad Gita? That is true. If you start reading from chapter number 1 till 18, you will face problems. Even if you are surrendered, even if you have, full faith, even if complain to God, talk to God like, why this is happening in my life, why that is not happening in my life, why after all the good things I'm doing, why the things are not getting right. All those things you can complain. But still, if you have the faith in your God, you may be able to understand slowly, and one day you will get some guru, some enlightened personality who will be able to explain all these things to you, exactly in the manner they are in the Bhagavad Gita. But if that is not the case with you, in that case, for a normal common human being, this is the high time, right? The time where we are living in, this is 2023 when I'm recording this video. In At this particular time, when if you are watching this video in the future, like in 2030 or 2031 or maybe 2050, then in that case, let me tell you that this was the time full of turmoils in this world, where the entire world needed to have the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Only the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita could have saved the world. And this is what the approach of people like us is there, to put this knowledge to everyone, to spread this knowledge to everyone, so that everyone can understand the meaning of peace, and everyone can understand the meaning of their roles and responsibility in the life, right? When we talk about peace, then you cannot be just sitting peacefully, right? If there are few people who are there to destroy the peace, then you must need to understand the karma yoga. If you are in a certain duty, whose duty is to destroy all those powers who can never establish, who can never allow to establish any peaceful society in this world, then in that case, as per your duty, you need to fight the war just like Arjuna had to fight. So all those things we will understand slowly in the Bhagavad Gita as we will move along. But yes, this is the time which is full of turmoils, and coming years like 2024, 25, 26, they are even dangerous. They are even very much, to such an extent they are dangerous that anything can happen, right? Anything can happen. But yes, this is sure that this world is not going to end. There may be certain unpleasant events, but yes, we all will be there after this war, after these things. There are 100% certainty of the wars in this world, at this point of time when we are living in 2023 and coming years. This world is full of all the possibilities to have a war, a full scale war, right? But we want that all these things, the impact of all these things should be minimized, and if there is an impact, then also that should be minimized, and the upcoming generations should be able to understand that how it could have been stopped and why it happened. Why after leaving Bhagavad Gita, leaving all our scriptures, why these things created, why the people were more confused, like what we should do. All those things will come in front of you in the coming years. So that is why we are just going to make these videos, and we are not only thinking of those who are full devotees, but we are also thinking of those who has the craving of getting the understanding of Bhagavad Gita, but they don't have that kind of devotion which Arjuna has, but still they have the craving. So if they have the craving, if they start from chapter number 1 and they reach only till chapter number 3 or 4, then that's a sad thing, right? So we need to cover most of the people in this world, so that they can be motivated to read Bhagavad Gita, so that they can cover each and every chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. So let me tell you why why you face the problem and what is the issue. What is the issue because of which I will start reading Bhagavad I will start the videos of Bhagavad Gita from 13 to 18, then 7 to 12, and then chapter number 1 to 6. Okay, so first of all, we have understood that you need full devotion, that we have understood. So in case of full devotion, you can go from philosophy to psychology to science, right? This is for the pure devotees, but there is one certain thing, that this is not the correct, not is this is the correct sequence, but this is not the correct sequence for those people who are not devoted towards the god. In fact, no sequences in Bhagavad Gita is correct for them, right? I'm talking in respect of them, in with respect to them, right? I'm not talking in terms of Bhagavad Gita or Lord Krishna. I'm talking in terms of those for whom Bhagavad Gita is not correct, for whom Bhagavad Gita is not the way it has been written, it is correct, right? So those are the people who complain every time that this is not the this is not the way it should have been explained, this is not the way we are able to understand, so what we should do. So in that case, let me tell you one thing, that this philosophy, psychology, and science, this is this is the quality of para, right? Para means the other, uh, the other lok, or you can say the other world. Not only world, it can be other creation, right? The second part of the creation. There are two parts of our creation. This entire creation has two parts. One is known as para, and other is known as apara. Okay, so para means where the auspicious energy lives. The energy of God, where the energy of God lives, that is known as the para, and apara, where we live, where there are certain, certain qualities of the nature, there are certain properties of the nature, there are certain characteristics of the nature. Sata, Raja, Tama, three kinds of gunas are there, and 24 elements are there, that we are all going to understand and read in coming chapters. But this apara is the place where we live and where we take birth on the earth, right? We get birth on this earth, right? So this is the apara where we take birth, but this is the para. So the para has all this rule, like philosophy to psychology to science, you can understand this way in para. But in apara, can you understand? Let me explain you with a simple example. Can you understand that, can you be a philosopher in any subject, or you can say that, can you do PhD directly without reading science, without understanding the, without making a psychology in science? Can you directly become a philosopher in science, or you can say, can you do the PhD in science directly? No, you cannot do. You cannot do the philosophy. You cannot do the philosophy, or you can say you cannot be a PhD in science without first understanding the science, and then reaching to the psychology, developing a psychology, and then you will be able to understand. Then you will be able to explain the other things. You will be able to put a philosophy of science in front of the people, and you will become a PhD scholar holder, right? You will become a PhD holder. You will become a scholar, right? So in this world, how we follow? We follow like this: science, then we follow psychology, then we follow philosophy. Let me give a simple example. First of all, you understand the concept of thermodynamics. For example, if you have to understand about the heat, you understand the concept of thermodynamics. So you read about the thermodynamics. After reading about the thermodynamics, you understand the concepts related to the thermodynamics, then you develop a psychology. Psychological development means you have developed the reasoning capability. Your psychology has been developed in the particular subject. Suppose you have understood if you have understood the concept of thermodynamics, the first law of thermodynamics, then your psychology, your understanding, your reasoning capability will be able to explain that why the warmer things become colder, and why the cold thing becomes warmer, and both of them becomes equal to the temperature of this uh, whatever we have in our environment, right? So all these matches, why that happens, so you will be able to understand on the basis of the principle of thermodynamics, which says that the heat, uh, you know uh, heat moves from the higher temperature to lower temperature until the temperature of both the things become equal, and that temperature becomes equal to the temperature in the environment, right? So from high to low temperature, the energy flows. So this is the rule everywhere, right? From whatever is high, that will move towards the flow. Its temperature, if it is high, it will move towards the low temperature, right? So that is what happens, right? So this is the principle, how we take the knowledge in this world. First we understand the basic concepts of the science, and then we develop our psychology, and then once our psychology has been developed, we are able to give the reasoning of the various incidents which are happening in this world, in this materialistic world. Then we can move into the philosophy, right? So this is the path in our world, right? But what Bhagavad Gita first of all has the philosophy, then has the psychology, and then have the science. This is for the full devotees which are in apara. If you are a full devotee, if you have surrendered everything, then you have become para, not apara, para, it's para. So if your nature has accepted the para, if you want to be like para, if you have surrendered, then you have surrendered everything in this apara. So if you have surrendered everything in apara, then you are in para. In that situation, when you have surrendered everything, you are in para, right? If you are in para, then in that case this particular sequence will very well work for you. So if you are a true devotee, then you will be able to understand this thing very easily. If you are not a true devotee, then there are two ways. The foremost and the correct way is to get a guru, right? You need to wait for your guru in your life. Otherwise, the other way that we have tried here is that until you get a guru, until then, at least we should be able to read Bhagavad Gita, we should be able to have some self study. And if you are not able to do the self study, then this is a problem. So for helping in that self study, we have come up with this understanding. I have experienced whatever I have experienced in my personal life while reading Bhagavad Gita. I have just consolidated all, and I want to share it with you all. So, what my experience is that it's science, then it's psychology, then it's philosophy. This is the rule of our world to gain the knowledge. So, as per this rule, if we go through the same rule with Bhagavad Gita, like we start from 13 to 18, then we go to 7 to 12 psychological, and then we go to the philosophy, then it will surely attract you. You will be surely able to understand it easily. You will be able to get some, what you say, interest into the Bhagavad Gita. Because you lose the interest when you start reading from the beginning. Sometimes you lose the interest because we all are not completely surrendered. We don't have the, that. Good luck to have the guru in our life, right? So if we don't have that good luck to have the guru in our life, then in that case we again move into a circle. Like we move from the philosophy to the psychology, and after reading first 4 or 5 chapters, we are stuck again, right? We keep the book right in the shelf, and then we after 6 or 7 months we again open it, and then again we stop it, right? So this thing keeps happening. You might have seen this thing, and you can see, and you can talk to your friends, they will be able to explain the same thing. So that is why from science to psychology to philosophy, we are going to study Bhagavad Gita in this manner. And from where I got this motivation, right? First of all, in Bhagavad Gita, you can easily understand that all the scholars who has understood Bhagavad Gita, who has written the commentary on the Bhagavad Gita, they have explained that yes, the last 6 chapters are the science. They have explained that there are 3 parts of the Bhagavad Gita. The second part is the Anand Khand, or you can say, if you have developed the psychology, you feel blissed, right? You have the bliss. And then we have the philosophy. Then you understand that yes, now we have understood the concept, so now we can have our own philosophy, we can put our own philosophy, we can put our own understanding in front, with respect to the science, with respect to any of the topic in front of this world. So this is the way we understand in this world. But how I got the motivation? The motivation is chapter number 15 of Bhagavad Gita itself, and the first verse of that chapter. The first verse of that chapter says that this world where you are living, if you read that particular verse, then you will be able to find that we are living in a world which is the mirror image of the real world, which is the world of Lord Krishna. So if you have a mirror image, if your world is the mirror image, suppose this is the mirror, okay, this is the mirror, and this is the real world. And in this real world, first of all, there is philosophy, then there is psychology, then there is science. right? So from philosophy to, it's like this: philosophy, psychology, and science. First, it is philosophy. Start from here, right? And then it goes to psychology, then it goes to the science. So this is the way, I mean, from here till the image, because this is the para and apara's boundary, right? So whatever is there, it's from here to here. So from top to bottom, whatever is at the top, right here, it's philosophy at the top, then it's psychology, then if it is science, then if you read the other side of the image, right, then what will happen? You will be able, in the mirror image, you will be able to see the science first, then you will be able to see the psychology, then you will be able to see the philosophy, right? So this is what the meaning of this this verse is. This particular verse is saying that this entire creation is the mirror image of the real world, which is the world of the Lord Krishna. So I extended this, I understood the inherent meaning. I got this, this inherent message. I think like this is the inherent message in this verse, that this world is not the mirror image only in terms of certain aspects. It is mirror image in all aspects. So if it is mirror image in all aspects, then it will be the mirror image in this aspect as well, how we get the knowledge, right? We get the knowledge from science to psychology to philosophy in this world, because in the real world it must be from philosophy to psychology to science. This is the motivation from chapter number 15 verse number 1, which I have got, which with the grace of God, I am nothing. So it's all about the God. So he has given, through the Bhagavad Gita, he has given me this understanding. I got this inherent meaning. It's very simple, that this para world, Lord Krishna himself is saying that in chapter number 15, that this para, this apara world where you are living, this is the mirror image of the real world. So if this is the mirror image, then it will be the mirror image in all aspects, not only in few aspects. It will be mirror image in all aspects, and it should be, and it must be, in that case it must be the mirror image in case of getting the knowledge as well, right? So that is how, that is how I got the motivation, and that is why I'm trying to put these things in front of you. And let me tell you again that please don't think that this is something which I have invented. No, this is my experience. This is how I felt, and this is how I felt like I should share the same experience with you. Maybe you can also get benefit, and may not be, you may not be able to get the benefit. Maybe you will abuse me, that who are you to explain the Bhagavad Gita in this manner. Please don't, if you are doing this, I request you that if you are doing this, please don't put any comments here, right? I'm telling you that this is my own experience, this is my own thing that I have experienced, and I think that yes, that helped me a lot. That helped me a lot to go closer, towards the devotion of the God. So that is why I think, like, maybe if I explain this to others as well, then it will be able to, then I will be able to motivate more of the people, most of the people, to read Bhagavad Gita. So that is why I have done this, right? So I would again say that this is not any invention, this is nothing, this is just an experience, that just a thought which came to my mind, just something which I experienced as well. I tested it as well, and that is why I want to put it in front of you. If you want to read from chapter number 1 to 18, that is okay, that is the right way. But the thing is that we are not right. The thing is that we are not right means we are not completely surrendered. Our mental state is not in that state that we completely surrender in front of God. So that is why I'm going to follow this path, right? So this is how I'm going to do, this is how we are going to understand Bhagavad Gita. So this was the first thing that I wanted to discuss with you in today's video, which was related to how we will read it and why we will read it in this manner. Now the second question is that that is an important question, and most of the people ask. There are few atheists who also ask this question, but their intention of asking this question is something else. But there are few devotees who can easily relate to this thing, that whenever someone is a good person who is a devotee of Lord Krishna, who is the devotee of any form of the God, maybe Lord Rama, then why he get most of the problems in his life, right? Why he get those problems, right? And also there are few people, and if you have done this thing, if you are if you are spiritual, and if you are growing in your spiritual path, then you might have felt this thing, that as soon as you are moving into the spiritual path, at the same time you are feeling that you are getting the lustful thoughts in you. if you are moving spiritually, if you are doing the kriya yoga, or if you are doing the yoga, if you are doing the meditation, and if you are doing the meditation as per the spiritual guidance, then in that case, in few after some time, and if you are not doing it in the direction of any guru, then in that case you will be able to feel that as soon as I'm moving spiritually in the path, you will be able to feel that yes, I'm getting attracted towards the lust, or you can say the lustful thoughts are more and more coming into my mind, whether the lust is for eating something delicious, or whether the lust is for having sex, anything. Those kind of lustful thoughts provoke you, those kind of lustful thoughts will come to you, and these stories has been written everywhere. If you read the ancient scriptures like Puranas, then you must be aware that whenever some yogi or some highly spiritual person who has meditated a lot, if he try to connect himself with the god, the supreme energy, in that case there is a deity whose name is Indra. That Indra's, the throne of the Indra starts shaking, right? And when his throne starts shaking, he sends an apsara, a beautiful lady. He sends an angel, we call it apsara, right? They send an apsara. He sent an apsara, and to that guy who is meditating. That apsara is nothing but the representative of the lust, the most heinous lust, the most the worst lust is the lust for the sex. That for that particular lust, Indra, which is one of the deity, he sends one apsara, or you can say a beautiful lady, to the person who is meditating, and he is very close to reaching to the to a conscious level which is equal to the supreme consciousness, right? So he sends, and that is the representative of that lust. That apsara is nothing, that beautiful lady is nothing. That is the representative of lust in our scriptures, right? And it is likewise vice versa. It's at both the places, right? Whether it's a lady or whether it's a gents, whether it's gents or lady, they will feel the same thing, right? It's not only for gents. They both will feel the same thing. You might have read the story of Bhagwan Buddha, Lord Buddha, and you must have read this thing that when Buddha was very close to attaining the self consciousness, then then you know um, a power, a deity came, or you can say no, he has not said, he has not told him deity. Rather, he has told him, what is the opposite of deity. I mean, I think it should be some, rakshasa. I'm not sure what is the English for that. So that is the thing. You can say that someone who can demon, you can say, right? So there was some demon. That demon came to Lord Buddha to disturb him, and that demon was the demon of lust, and his name was Mar. Mar means the deity of lust. So he came to Lord Buddha. So these are the stories which are everywhere. So why, when you are attaining these things, why you do these things, why these things come to you? That is something we must need to understand, and we need to accept that. And if you are feeling these things, and if some person comes to you and he says that yes, if I'm meditating, if I am growing spiritually, then in that case these things are happening a lot to me, I'm getting lustful thoughts many times. So just tell him, no need to worry about it. This is natural, this will happen, but you have the knowledge, you have the understanding of the scriptures, you have the understanding of Gita, you have that consciousness, or you can say you have that kind of that kind of a kind of a bell in your mind which should ring, right? Which should ring whenever something like this is happening. And you should again understand that yes, this is something which will happen. If you know that yes, this will happen, you have to be careful about them, you have to be attentive towards them, that they will attack. Then in that case you will be able to destroy them, you will be able to keep them away. These thoughts, these lustful thoughts, are just like the thieves. A thief can enter in your house only when you are sleeping. When you are sleeping, just like anything, you don't know what is happening all around you. But even if you sleep carelessly, or you can say you sleep happily, before that, if you have taken care of all those things, that no thief should enter into your house, then that is the bell that the thieves can come. This thought that the thieves can come, this is the bell, warning bell, right? So if this warning bell is inside you, then you will be able to, before sleeping, you will be able to close all the doors where a thief can enter. So this, awakening, this this attentiveness, or you can say this conscious thought that yes, this can happen, this conscious thought is the bell. And if you have this bell, then you are safe. So you must need to accept this, that yes, these things could happen to you if you are growing spiritually. Now the second thing is that why this happens, right? So I'm going to explain it to you, based on the one of the Upanishad, which is the Prashna Upanishad. Prashna Upanishad. So in the Prashna Upanishad, there is a question asked by one of the disciples to Rishi Pippalad. Rishi Pippalad is a rishi, and he's a guru, and six disciples came to him, and they ask few questions. So one of the question was related to the prana. Prana means through which we take the air inside, through which we are living, right? So that is known as the prana. So what is the prana? That has been explained in one of the answers to the Prashna Upanishad. So prana is nothing but a shadow of God. God means Atman. Atman means Paramatman, because Atman, this Atman is you know it's something like Paramatman is like a fire, right? And Atman are like the chariots of fire. Okay, I hope you must have understood. So if Paramatman, which is the supreme God, is the fire, then in that case this Atman is the chariot of fire. The small chariots which flow around when some fire is there, right? So the chariots of fire is Atman, and the fire himself is the Paramatman. He is the Paramatma, right? So if we have the formula of fire, if we have some formula for fire, then same formula for will be for the Atman as well, because Atman is from the Paramatman itself. So what the kind of fire Atman Paramatma has, the same kind of fire this Atman, which is known as the chariot, right? The fire, the chariot of the fire, this chariot, if he finds the right place where the fire can be taken, fire can take place, then this chariot can even take place in the same form of the fire from which it has been originated, right? So that is the thing, that is, must need to understand, because when we say that Advaita, when we talk about Advaita, then this is the Advaita at the at the level of element, at the elementary level, both things are same. At the elementary level, both the things have the same formula. Atman is same as Paramatman, but they have the difference. Atman is just like it has been bounded inside a body, but Paramatman is inside, outside, everywhere. But the element is same. This element which is inside our body, this is Atman. It is same as Paramatman, but this Atman is inside us, but this Paramatman is inside, outside, everywhere he is existing. So this is the fundamental difference, and this is the basic concept of Advaita. Why we say that Atman and Paramatman, they are Advaita, there is no difference in both of them. They want to say that yes, they are not different in terms of their basic qualities, in terms of their characteristics, they are not different, right? But in case like how they behave in this world, how they come in this world, there is a Advaita. In case of their working, there is Advaita, but in case of the their level of characteristics, at the elementary level, both are same, right? So Advaita and Dvaita, both things are explained, but people don't understand in that manner. That is why there is a fight between, always between Dvaita and Advaita. Someone says that yes, I am also Paramatma, that you are also Paramatma, outside everything is Paramatma. They are also right, but at the Advaita level, they are also right, but at the same time, at the Dvaita level, the others who are the devotees, they are also right, but both of them don't understand that how this need to be understood, and that is why there is a fight between the different kind of people. Now let us see the concept of how we have understood why, how we need to understood this important question, that how, why we feel the why we feel that we are having the lustful thoughts when we are moving towards moving ahead in the in the spiritual path, right? So what happens that this can be explained on the basis of the prana. What happens that prana is nothing, just it is the carrier of the prana is vayu, which is the air, right? Prana vayu, there are five kinds of air: prana vayu, apan vayu. There are five major pranas. Pan, Apan, Vayan, Udan, Saman, and there are five more which are Lagu Prana. So we will understand all those things in detail later on. But yes, this air, this prana, there are five major types of this prana: Prana Vayu, Apan Vayu, everything. So Prana Vayu is the main Vayu which takes care of your life, right? Once prana takes away, you are no more. Your body is no more in this world. You will be there always because you are Atman, but your body will not be there because prana sustains the body, right? So once the prana will prana will be away from your body, then in that case it will happen that you will die. So prana, the carrier of prana is the air, right? Through the air, these prana, are getting survived. These prana are taking the help of air, Vayu Deva, right? The deity of air, that is known as the Vayu Deva. So, through that we are, getting the life. We are into the life. So what happens that there is a simple formula of air, that if at some place the pressure of air is less, if there is a less pressure and there is a high pressure, if there is a less pressure area for air someplace and there is a high pressure area, in front of or besides him, besides this particular air belt where the low pressure is, then the air will flow from high to low. Okay, air will flow from high to low pressure, right? So what happens that when you are meditating, right? You are meditating. Let us see the meditating. When you are meditating, then what you are doing, you are moving away. You are becoming less pressure, a person with less pressure. Why? Because your prana becoming lighter because of having the less pressure. How the less pressure is created? Because in this world, in para and apara, this is para, this is apara. In the apara there are many elements. There are 24 elements which impacts your entire body, which impacts your entire thought, which impacts your mind, soul, everything. They impact on you. But in this para, these 24 elements are not there, right? So you are living in this apara. Forget about this para now. You are living this in apara. Try to understand carefully. You are living in this apara, and being in this apara, you are trying to reach to this level which is para. So trying to reach to this level, you do meditation. Getting my point? You do the meditation to reach to this para. If you are doing the meditation, then these 24 elements are getting away from you. Their impact is very less on you. If their impact is very less on you, then you will become lighter. Your prana will become lighter. Your pran will become less heavy, right? Lighter. So they will have the less pressure. Now inside you, you have the less pressure. You are lighter, but you are surrounded by the 24 elements of this apara. You are trying very hard to get these 24 elements away so that you become lighter. You are getting my point? Lighter means having the less pressure of air. You can compare with that, having the less pressure of air, because you make it lighter. But if you have become lighter, then all your surroundings which are still heavier, what they will do, they will certainly attack you with the full force. That is simple science. That is why when you are doing meditation, when you are trying to understand, when you are trying to do the yoga, you are following the ashtanga yoga, everything, then in that case these things attack you. Why these things attack you? Because of this is a very simple science. You can feel this everywhere. Your prana, when you do the meditation, your prana becomes less heavy. You can take the breaths easily. But if you are not in that situation, if you are worried about all your life challenges, life problems, then you can easily understand that your pranas are small. You're taking the breath inside you, which is very small. The size of the breath is very small. You are taking the breaths, very short breaths, right? So those are the things because of your heaviness in your heart. And that heaviness in your heart is nothing but the heaviness in your prana. Once you uh, once you are able to keep these 24 elements, sata raja tama man buddhi ahankara, all these things, your ego, all these things, if you are keeping it away, if you have become a person who is very much um, what do you say, um, who can who can who can what you say tolerate, who can tolerate all the things. Sorry, I am somehow this word was not coming into my mind, right? So somehow if they are able to tolerate all these things, they have the tolerance in themselves, that they can tolerate any kind of bad situation in their life, and that happens through the meditation. If you can do that, then you are already a meditative guy, right? You are already doing the meditation. So all these things where you can tolerate the things, all those things where you can do these things, you have the tolerance, you have the capacity to tolerate all the bad situation in your life, then in that case it means that your prana are light, your prana are becoming lighter, right? So if your prana are becoming lighter, then that air which is carrying the your prana, that is also becoming lighter. So if that is becoming lighter, then all the other things which are heavier, they will obviously, as per the law of science, they will come to you. This is the law of science, because air always move from the high pressure to low pressure, and that is why the monsoon comes. That is why the various phenomenons in this world related to the raining and having the cloud formation, all those things happen because of this high pressure to low pressure movement of the air, right? So that is why you feel this kind of thing. So please accept that yes, this thing will happen, but yes, you just need to keep in your mind that yes, this will happen. Don't get astonished that why this is happening. Just know that this will happen. If you know that this will happen, then this will work as a warning bell in your mind. And with this, I would like to conclude this particular video, and I hope you must have understood this video very carefully. This is very important video. You must need to understand what we are going to understand in this one. And from the next video, I am going to start from chapter number 13, Bhagavad Gita. So this playlist will only have two videos, one video, the last video, and this video. So these two videos will be there. These are the prerequisite for you to before you start understanding Bhagavad Gita. And all these para apara we will come again and again when we will read Bhagavad Gita, and without these things you will not be able to understand properly the meaning of all the verses. So with this I would like to conclude this, and please share, like, subscribe my channel. Please share these videos to as many people as possible, because this is the high time people should move towards the Bhagavad Gita. This is the only thing which can save this world, otherwise nothing else will be able to save this world. So let us start our process, let us start this thing. And best of luck to you, best of luck to me, and may God bless all of you. And thank you all. Have a nice day, and bye bye. Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Shri Radhe.